Are you ready?
Yeah, turn up the heat.
Are you ready?
Is he ready?
Oh, yeah, he's ready.
It's go time.
Ready to go beyond the scores and stats?
I love it.
Good.
Let's bring it in. It's showtime, right?
Welcome to High on Sports.
The whole deal is like some kind of crazy game.
Exclusively on MorningShowCentral.com.
Hello and welcome to High on Sports. I'm Ralphie, and with me, as always,
It's Ashley.
And I am Von Erich.
and whether you're joining us tonight on your computer or one of the many glorious apps, thank you for making High on Sports a part of your evening. If you're not on one of those many glorious apps, remember to take your smartphone, search for TuneIn Radio. It is free to download. Simply install it. Search MSC Radio Network, and you are listening to us live on the go from your phone, wherever you may be. Remember, as always, you can call the show toll-free 1-888-668-0742. Email us your questions or comments to shows with an S at morningshowcentral.com. Tweet at us at high_on_sports or with the hashtag High on Sports and facebook.com/High on Sports. And highonsports.net is the website. It's got the archive of all our past shows, my blog, as well as a weekly contribution. Every week a new blog subject from our blogger now, Mark, and good stuff. Good stuff there. And so much more. It's just a great website. It's the next Facebook. Everybody delete your Facebook and just be on highonsports.net.
Right?
It's the future.
It is.
Sorry, Google. Sorry.
I already tried
Highonsports.net.
deleting my Facebook, but they won't let me.
You can't do that, and the government doesn't have any information on you.
Right?
We could do a whole show about that. That stupid new iPhone. It's got a fingerprint scanner.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Anyways, not
Happens
even
if you
close
burn
to our
your
subject
fingertips
matter.
all the time.
Well, then you can never use your phone. Let's get into sports, though. We're already sidetracked, and we haven't even started. It's round one. Let's go. All right. In actual sports that happened, let's start with this. We'll get to the Browns and the fact that they're a winning team, tied for the lead in the division. Nice jersey you're rocking. Is that Jared Vicious?
It is.
Vicious Joe.
Good old Joe.
He was
hometown boy.
He was good. He was on third down.
Yeah.
Whew.
Throw to Joe.
Reliable as hell. As hell. Except when he got staph infection and sued the team. Anyways, the story's always ended like that from that era of the Browns.
Yeah. Oh, they were great. And then they got a staph infection and sued the team.
Exactly. But Charles Bentley was the future of the team at center till he got staph infection and sued the team. But that's how most stories from that era ended. But anyways, no, we're gonna start off talking Tribe. First things first. Congratulations to the Cleveland Indians on
You made the playoffs.
One hell of a
Yeah.
season. Now I want to nip something in the bud right now before this argument comes up. I know a lot of people are thinking, and I'll just say it because we're all thinking it in the back of our minds, if this stupid-ass wild card rule wasn't in effect, the Indians would have just advanced into the playoffs into
Yep.
Boston and been in a real big boy series like everybody else. That's true, but that's not how the game is played anymore.
It's crap.
It's stupid, sure, but
One game series.
it's not going to make a difference. That's how it is now, which it's fundamentally wrong from the start because it's against everything that baseball is.
Yeah.
Baseball, more than any sport, is about the long haul, the drag. It's not like football where it's like any given Sunday, like they say with football. Anybody can win any day unless you're Jacksonville.
Unless you're Jacksonville.
Unless you're Jacksonville.
I don't know if Jacksonville could beat a high school team.
I don't think they could. I don't know if Jacksonville could beat us.
Yeah.
I mean, Maurice Jones-Drew maybe, but that would be about their only weapon.
and he'll
I
get
could take
hurt.
out Justin Blackmon.
Yeah.
I could certainly mess up Blaine Gabbert.
And there's
I think so.
we could throw the interns in here.
Sure, we could field a team that would do better than Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Probably.
I know, right? Mark's like 10 feet tall.
Oh yeah, he could just.
He'll just block everything. Oh, you're going to kick a field goal? Nope.
I'm saving Mark for basketball. We'll wait till we play against a crappy basketball team.
Right? Who's going to be the worst team in the league for basketball? I'm like, hey, Mark. It'll be 1-on-5 and we'll win.
Be like Yao Ming with the Rockets. He could just stand there right under the hoop
Yeah, just-
and just pop it in. Anyways, all right, though the Indians, I mean, it's a stupid system because it is one game and it's totally random, and that's not what baseball is. Baseball isn't about random. It's supposed to be playing long enough that the better team does win. That's how it's supposed to be. I just don't like one game
No.
to decide everything, because one game, it's not a sample size good enough for a baseball
Not for
team.
baseball, because there's
The best players in baseball go nights without hits. That's how baseball
Yeah.
is. In the NFL, I mean, you get guys like Peyton Manning doesn't have very many bad days at all because he can't afford to. And the way the game is played, he's not really going to.
You're more likely to get struck by lightning before Peyton Manning has a bad day.
Yeah, pretty much.
Especially this year.
But the point is, in baseball, just because of how difficult
it's a game of failure.
hitting a ball is
Yeah.
with a stick that's moving that fast, none of it makes sense. That you're gonna get the Miguel
Yeah.
Cabreras and guys that are just elite players at their position. They're gonna not hit anything. And there's gonna be days where amazing Cy Young caliber pitchers don't have their head on straight, don't have
Yeah.
their stuff that night. But that's the thing about baseball. You have an off night, it doesn't matter. It's about the big picture. But this is all just one night. I don't like that stuff.
Neither do I.
And I've heard people make the argument like, well, what happens when the World Series or something comes down to Game 7? And then it had 6 games.
It had
six games to trade
before
blows
that.
before you hit
Yeah.
that one. It's not like you just walked in one day, lost, and there
That
goes
was
the
it.
World Series.
And
On the upside, though, if you're mad at Boston, they are probably going to be eliminated from the playoffs tonight. So,
you mean Tampa?
that's what I meant to say.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Because Boston's
If you're-
pretty
if-
much destroying them.
exactly. Boston, I don't
And
even
look,
understand.
I'm gonna be realistic. We wouldn't have beat Boston in the 5-game series.
Probably
But
not.
I feel like we could have won at least one. We could have taken it to 4, which gives Cleveland 2 home games. And then after that, who knows what would happen. I mean, yeah, I would be reaching saying we could even make it to 5 and win. But it'd be a lot better than watching one game and then just, that was it.
And I mean,
And I'd be in Cleveland tonight, god damn it. Watching a game.
kudos to Danny Salazar. Let me just say that. Danny Salazar, you're going to be the number 2 on this team
Yeah.
next year.
And
Most likely. Let me.
And what sucks also is because of one game, we got thrown up against, I mean, technically, what was it, Cobb, whoever? He's
Cobb.
technically their number 2 because Price is their ace. But we could have destroyed
Cobb's
Price.
scary.
And Cobb has a less than 3 ERA for the last couple months of the season. I'm like, the dude has already shut us out once.
Alex Cobb's got a 2.76 ERA
Yeah.
this season. Whew.
But I guarantee you, we could have took their other 2 starters in a series of 3 or 5.
Cobb expected by many to probably be their ace next year.
Yeah.
Likely a deal to move Price is probably going to happen this offseason. They're in a way that the Indians were, hopefully not are still, but were, where a guy would get kind of too good for their own good and they'd have to go. You gotta shop him because you can't afford to keep him, but which isn't necessarily true with everyone anymore. Although, and more on this obviously once we get into December and you get some winter meetings and stuff going on. But Ubaldo Jimenez, what's going to happen with that situation?
We got to keep
He
him.
may have played himself out of the Indians' price range, and you look back and it's a move
But
no one
see-
should have or could have made. Was back last offseason. You think of it, it's like, oh my God, if I had like a time machine or I would have known last offseason, I would have locked him up when it would have cost pennies on the dollar.
Yeah.
But that's how the game works,
And, God, what was I going to say?
It's,
I don't remember.
I worry. I would love if they could bring him back. It would
Yeah.
be, I mean, that goes without saying.
And I think, honestly, I don't even know if he'll be fully out of our price range because they are spending money now.
That's true.
They're spending money a lot more than we were. So maybe I would assume they would have to offer
And that's
him
one of the
something.
things that worries me a little bit. Are they spending money more or did they spend more? If you get what I'm getting at.
Yeah, they
Are
spent
the
it and that
Indians
was it.
willing to pay now, or
Was it just a
was
one and
it
done?
they were willing to pay, and now that they've got some players that cost some money on this roster, they're kind of, well, let's go back to what was going on, and who can tell with that? I'd find it hard to believe for them to bring in an everyday starter at any position if you think about it. I don't really see a spot where they would want to replace that per se. As Drupal Cabrera is maybe the one I could see something done there, just because he
had a
his
terrible
deal
year.
is almost done. But then that's another thing is you wonder was he just having a good time that 2 years ago starting the All-Star game and everything, was he just having a good streak there,
was he just having
or
a
is
bad year
this
this
the bad year?
'Cause, I mean, everyone's gonna have a bad year once.
Exactly. You have
It's
your
kind
ups
of
and your
been
downs.
Cabrera's MO though. He tends to be streaky every
true.
year. He'll have an on year, and then he'll be off the next one, and we've seen that since his rookie season.
That's true. And I mean, and there are still names in the minors and stuff that could very well potentially be opening day, not necessarily starters, but there. Anyways, you think a guy like Francisco Lindor, I mean, yeah, he spent most of his season now in Double-A, but you think about it, Danny Salazar started his season in Double-A and ended his season pitching in the playoffs. You never know what's going to happen. And another one is Trevor Bauer. Season cut short due to injury and surgery and stuff. But that was a guy they were very high on when they traded for him. And granted, he came up for a few spot starts and didn't necessarily look that great, and obviously got passed up by Salazar as sort of next man up. But I mean, there's potentially room on this rotation for him to get in there too, and who knows what a nice spring training is going to look like with this team set up the way it is. The future's bright, to say the very least, with Terry Francona at the helm.
Yeah,
the Indians finally have someone, and it's the first time in Cleveland in general where there is a person in the managerial coaching position, what have you, that knows what he's doing.
Yeah,
and looks like the man for the job. I mean, even like I gotta say, so far with the Browns, I'm loving Chud. I liked Chud. I thought it was an interesting move when they went for him, and I've been a big fan of him so far. But he is still, no matter what, learning right now.
Yeah.
And Francona, obviously, still always a student of the game, will always be learning, but he's definitely at a position where he knows, the next move. It's not like, well, let's see what happens here. As it's a rookie head coach with Chud, whether you like it or not. However good he does, it's a rookie head coach. But 2 World Series rings this guy's got, and I mean, I can't remember the last time that Cleveland has hired anyone, coach or manager, with like multiple championships under their belt. I'd be hard pressed to even maybe say it hasn't happened. But either way, good season for the Tribe. I'm nothing but proud of them. Nothing but proud of them. And it's going to be a hell of a year next year.
Yeah.
Real quick though, let's look at you and I talked about this. This is really weird. From the MLB playoff standpoint, all 4 series played today, and almost every one of them was at an awful time.
I don't understand. Playoff games aren't they supposed to be, in prime time so people can watch them?
Oakland and Detroit started playing at 1.
Who the hell can watch a playoff game at 1 o'clock in the afternoon? It's one thing when it's a regular season game. They throw them in there for travel purposes.
Who cares?
Whatever. There's 160 games. I'll catch the other 140 for the 20 that are during the day. But these are playoffs. When everybody wants to watch, and you're playing it in the middle of the day on a Monday. Just like on Friday. They had a bunch of games during the day on Friday, too. I'm like, what in the hell is going on here? I don't understand
I can't
what
do
they're
this.
doing.
I mean, I could hazard a guess as to what it is, but I mean, I'm a show host, not a calendar. But what is the time zone difference on that? Oakland, that's West Coast.
Wait, they played the game.
1 in the afternoon.
That would have been 11, 12. That would have been a 10 o'clock in the morning game.
10 a.m. on a Monday. Are you ready, Oakland?
Wait, was
sure
it
that was in Oakland?
Was it?
No.
Even if it's in Detroit, but Oakland still got to watch it.
I'm talking about for fans in Oakland.
Yeah.
It's in Detroit.
Because clearly fans aren't flying across the damn country to watch a game.
But I'm talking about, exactly, that's the point I'm making. I'm talking about the fans in Oakland watching it on TV.
At 10 in the morning. Are you kidding me, baseball? Are you kidding me? Who the hell is ready to watch a playoff game at 10 in the morning?
That's even worse than college football.
Right, you're basically killing all of Oakland's bar business, all of their business.
Then again, Oakland, aren't they notorious for not caring about their team?
I'm just saying. Well, it's the playoffs. I figure they're gonna get at least some people to show up.
Tampa Bay had open seats today.
That's sad.
I got them right now. Tampa Bay's got open seats.
But still, I don't understand.
Well, either way, Oakland did win for anyone that was up and not at work at 10 a.m.
Right, 10
on a
in the
Monday.
morning. 10
they
in the morning
did
on a
beat
Monday.
the Tigers 6-3. Dodgers walloped Atlanta 13-6.
Ooh.
Oh wait, that was yesterday. Sorry. They play actually tonight at 9:37 p.m. 37. What's
Yeah, and then
crap?
you have not. Oh well, that's on the. It's in L.A., so it's be a 6:30 game.
I do feel a little bad for the people in Atlanta though, because now Atlanta
Yeah,
fans
they
are
gotta wait till
they gotta
10.
work in the morning. They don't care. They don't care about you.
MLB, what the hell?
St. Louis
What the hell?
beat Pittsburgh. I'm not used to saying their name playoff time because it's been, 20 years since they've been there. So don't blame me for that. St. Louis 2, Pittsburgh 1. Series tied 2-2. to with the final game on that
5
coming
already.
Wednesday will be Game 5. Pittsburgh actually kind of odd mood going with their rookie pitcher, who's Garrett Cole, instead of A.J. Burnett.
Well,
in
he
that
had a
Game
rough
5.
outing Game 1.
True. And the Boston at Tampa Bay is going on right now. I'll get you a score for that in just a second here.
That's the only normal
Boston's
time
up 1 to
game.
nothing in the top of the 4th.
Less than a second. All right. Well,
We have one normal time game.
That's how we work around
You know
here.
what?
and
It's
again, if
because
Boston wins this
TBS
game, by the way, if Boston wins this game, it is over. And,
Yeah,
and
how
Boston will be
disappointing is
advancing
that to
on.
see Boston just make quick work of Tampa Bay like that?
Whatever.
And-
Tampa.
Tomorrow, by the way, as far as possible elimination games, tomorrow,
What, at 2 o'clock in the afternoon?
5:07.
Whoa.
That's decent, actually. Oakland at Detroit tomorrow at 5:07 in the afternoon.
So that's 2 o'clock for Oakland people.
An elimination game if you are the Tigers, in that Oakland could win the game and win the series. So by tomorrow, we could already have Oakland-Boston set up.
Oakland time,
That'd be
2 in the
interesting.
afternoon. Why wouldn't they make it like an 8 o'clock game?
Why
I don't,
isn't that the
I don't
night game?
understand
I don't-
why all the games aren't 8 o'clock.
Because they hate you. Because Major
no.
League Baseball hates you.
You know
Not
why?
you, the collective you. They hate
It's
you.
because
I
TBS
liked
has
it
the
better when
rights
they
to
hated
all the
her
games.
specifically.
It's because TBS apparently, I think they have the rights to all the games. So
and
like,
they want to show them all.
and they want to
No,
show them all.
no-
I'm sorry. F you, TBS. People want to watch their teams in the playoffs, not be at work at 1 o'clock in the afternoon and not be able to watch playoff baseball.
I
What
like
the
to
hell?
imagine the people at home mapping out the letters right now, like FUTBS, just trying to figure out what it all stands for. But either way,
Stupid. It's the dumbest.
I
Is the
know the
Super
first
Bowl
part.
on at noon? No, it's on prime
It
time.
would be if it was on
Are
TNT.
Are the NBA Finals on in the freaking afternoon? No. Why the goddamn hell are playoffs on in the afternoon?
What have you done,
don't fucking
God?
understand.
You have forsaken us all.
What is it? Only Cubs fans watch the playoffs?
I don't get it. I really don't get it. This is asinine, and this has never happened until this year.
All right, as soon as this round's over, Fox takes the NL or AL duties.
Oh, they always have the AL.
Fox takes the AL duties, and Fox takes the World Series. So that means repeats of my Family Guy, but I'll manage. Anyways, let's talk some Browns real quick, because I don't want to undersell what they're doing right now, as they are a 3-2 football team.
Brownies, baby.
They have won 3 games in a row.
We were in first place for 2 days.
Exactly.
All by ourselves.
Hey, we're still tied. We still have the tiebreaker over the Bengals.
Yep.
I don't know how that works then, because obviously the Browns lost to the Ravens.
So we're behind the Ravens, but ahead of Cincy.
Did the Bengals and the Ravens play each other?
I don't think they've played yet.
I'm very confused.
Because if they play and Cincy beats Baltimore, then we're in a... I don't know how that works.
Well, let me bring
But
up,
I guess we'll figure it out because we play everybody one more time.
before we worry about the negative of the future, let me bring up just an interesting little factoid for you here about a certain trade that recently went down not too long ago. Trent Richardson, since being traded to Indianapolis, 51 carries, 151 yards. That is an average of 2.96 yards per carry, or down from the 3.5 he was averaging in Cleveland. So just an interesting thing to note. I constantly keep an eye on what he does after the game, just to feel a little better every week. All I know is the last 3 weeks the Browns have won, and Trent Richardson's put up worse and worse numbers. So, I mean, take that at
he's
face
sad.
value. Take that
Maybe
at face
he
value.
doesn't like Indianapolis and he's sad inside.
Two other
Broke the
interesting-
guy's heart, and now he doesn't know how to play
interesting
football anymore.
Poor guy. 2 other points of interest here that I recently found out while combing through the stat sheets. The Browns have not allowed any running back to gain 100 yards in the last 8 games. The last one to do it was Jamal Charles last season. But during that span, they have stopped Alfred Morris, Ray Rice, Adrian Peterson, Cincinnati, Buffalo, Miami, Pittsburgh, Denver.
Adrian didn't get 100 on us this year?
No, you got
No.
all in that time span have not surpassed or even reached 100 yards rushing. Interesting
Quite a
thing to
change
note.
of pace from
yeah.
just a few years ago when
really?
we were allowing 250 to 300 yards a
First
game.
half of last year, it's a change of pace from. And one other thing I recently found out, Joe Thomas has started every single game and not missed one play since the Browns drafted it. Oh, God, yes. Knock on wood.
Jesus.
101 games in a row. Not to mention he's always been a Pro Bowler every single year. That's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
He's our
right
shining star on the offensive line.
First ballot Hall of Famer. Who would have thought over the last couple of years that there was a guy on this roster that you could say, oh, there's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
But there will be. Thaddeus Lewis, I wanted to bring that name up. Of course, you may all remember him as the perennial third-string guy during the preseason and then practice squad guy during the regular season. Quarterback, obviously. I mean, the Browns cut him this past offseason because they got a little full on quarterback. Picked up by Buffalo. Was on the practice squad as of yesterday. This morning announced he will start for Buffalo in place of E.J. Manuel.
Go, Thaddeus.
And Jeff Toole.
Get a little Thaddeus.
Manuel injured, Toole awful. So that is the reason for his jumping up.
Maybe, hey, you know what? Maybe Toole's not that bad, and we just have a kick-ass defense.
Hey, maybe. They're top 10 in most defensive categories. This is a scary good defense.
It really is.
8th in opponents' passing yards, 9th in opponents' rushing yards. Giving up an average of 207.6 through the air, 94.2 on the ground. So that's not bad. 18th in passing yards. I don't blame them. A little bit of turmoil there. Cleveland, we do have something weird, something we normally have, just not while having a 3-game winning streak, because we usually don't have a 3-game winning streak. A quarterback situation here. I don't want to call it a quarterback controversy because it's not. There is no controversy if that MRI from Brian Hoyer doesn't come back with a tear. Brian Hoyer is going to be the starter next week. Unfortunately, we live in a version of that timeline where Hoyer's knee is pretty messed up. He's out for the year, which means Brandon Weeden or bust right now.
I have faith in Weeden.
To his credit, he led the team to a victory.
He did.
I don't know if I
got
want
the
to say
W.
led. He was there for a victory.
We got the W.
Exactly.
He was present and accounted for.
Hey, he made some plays.
I mean,
Hey, you guys got to get off Weeden's back. He's not terrible. I've
not
seen
great.
a lot worse quarterbacks than Weeden.
Oh, sure, yeah. There's worse people. Charlie Fry was legally a quarterback, according to the purest definition of the term.
I'm just saying.
13 for 24, 197 yards, a touchdown.
No picks.
No picks.
That's 2 games in a row.
Very
Because
Brandon Weeden.
He had no picks against Baltimore before he got knocked out in the 4th quarter.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna.
So he had no picks against Baltimore either. That's 2 games in a row.
I'm wondering if Ashley's gonna say that, like, you know, in the middle of the season.
I never had a problem with Weeden. I was the one defending Weeden during week 1 and week 2.
Freaking Whedon, he dropped the ball again, or he threw the ball past somebody. Or she's gonna trust me, she's gonna go nuts.
No, she likes. She's always covered up Weeden. It's always been. Oh, if he catches the ball, if he doesn't drop it, bro.
Well, they need to learn how to catch the goddamn ball, but everyone's like, oh, he throws too hard. I'm sorry, you're a man in the NFL.
You know what?
I don't care if he threw the ball 300 goddamn miles an hour.
Here's the nicest compliment
Catch
I can
it.
pay to Brandon Weeden. The nicest compliment I can pay to him is
There's always next year.
there's worse options. That's what I can say.
Look, Whedon's main problem is he just doesn't make decisions quick enough.
Exactly.
If he would just drop back, and if he would
Like,
just,
you know the kid
he
in-
second
in-
guesses himself too much. If he
You
would
know-
just make a decision and deal with it, he'd be all right.
You know the kid who, like, in class, like, the other kids are doing algebra and he's eating glue? Well, he grew up 30 years later and plays quarterback for the Browns.
He's not that bad.
He's developing this persona of, like, this slow Oklahoma person, like,
He's a kid that licks windows.
just licking windows.
Yeah, but you know what? He'll throw the
and-
goddamn ball 100 miles an hour through your head.
Sure, like, he's just like the big dumb
got a-
kid on the farm who'll pull the plow. And, like, it just, he doesn't.
He's not that bad.
Like, he seems like he's, like, strong, but, you know, I don't know how bright he is. I mean, he didn't graduate college until he was almost 30.
Because he was playing minor league baseball, asshole. You're a horrible person.
I'm just saying. All I have to
10-year
look
senior.
Exactly. Either this
He
dude's
wasn't
like,
even in college.
either this dude's partying like Van Wilder, or
Whatever. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
or he's eating a lot of glue.
Ain't nothing wrong with partying.
Either way, the Browns are actually looking at other quarterbacking options, not necessarily to start. And if they did bring someone in, that someone would not just walk in and be the starter. it is Brandon Whedon's job to lose once again. And I will say this, despite all my trash talk, Brandon Whedon, I am pulling for him. I don't care who is it. You put like Hitler at quarterback, I'm going to want him to win. I don't care if I like the guy, I'm pulling for him.
He went with Hitler.
I got to get into my Photoshop program right now.
Oh, boy.
I mean, either way, just my point is, it doesn't matter if I like the guy or if I think he will do well. I am pulling for him to do well. I very much hope he does well. And again, when he was in there before, he didn't get a chance with Josh Gordon. So that's interesting to know. Josh Gordon's 2 best games from a yardage standpoint both occurred with Brandon Whedon as a quarterback. And they were both last year, obviously. Although one could say, obviously, his best game, period, was against the Vikings with Brian Hoyer in there. But, I mean, either way, this is the guy right now. Josh Freeman, those rumors sparked up and died about as instantly as they did. He's a Viking now. Will not start Sunday, or play Sunday at all, I should say. But they've said that he has a legitimate chance of getting the starting job. So
he's like crazy in the head. I wouldn't want to deal with that anyway.
Bunch of pills and Ritalin and stuff. I don't even know.
He's cuckoo-bird in the head.
Either way, he's probably going to be starting for the Vikings in 2 weeks. So take that for what it is. I mean, the Browns reportedly talking to Tyler Thigpen. I think that's the one that happens. I think he's signed as like a second string because Jason Campbell's just kind of there.
Matt Flynn has been released today.
Matt Flynn released today. That's one I'm taking a look at. Browns, call up Matt Flynn. Bring him in. He's got that experience from working behind greats like Russell Wilson and Terrell Pryor.
Yeah, because he's so awesome.
And Aaron Rodgers. Hey, who knows? I mean, bring him in, even if it's third string. Just give him a call.
Yeah, we do need another
Other name, real quick, and I'd love to talk about this, but we can't. Have to go to break. Jamarcus Russell. He's reportedly on the radar.
No.
Come back. All right, we're going to take a quick break, but when we get back, you're going to find out what's urinating us off. We got 3 up, 3 down. College football rankings we will break down. Tebow's a rumor as well. You're listening to High on Sports on the MSC Radio Network.
No.
Oh, great. Not another Farmville request. Check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/Morning Show Central. Denying one Farmville request at a time.
I know. Oh my God, I know what we're gonna do. Oh, it's so delicious, I can almost taste it.
If you're looking for the best sub shop in town, look no further. Hanini Subs, located at 7310 Lorraine Avenue, is the place for you. Stop in for a cold cut sub, cheeseburger and fries, wingdings and fries, and so much more. And almost taste it. Hanini Subs at 7310 Lorraine Avenue is open 24 hours a day. Check them out on Facebook, facebook.com/Burrito Crazy. And if you mention MSC Radio Network, you'll get $1 off your meal. It's all good at Hanini Subs. So damn good. Looking for reliable and affordable Shoutcast audio or video hosting? JWN Media offers complete Shoutcast hosting solutions for business or personal use. All plans come with full listener stats, custom web scripts for implementing your service into your existing website, full server control, super fast network, and huge bandwidth limits, a 99.5% uptime guarantee, and friendly, knowledgeable support personnel dedicated to making your hosting experience fun and easy. With plans starting at only $3 a month, you have no excuse not to get a server of your own. Plus, with the option to add auto DJ and on-demand services, you can be confident your station will be all it can be. Custom plans are also available at their website. Simply visit jwnmedia.com and click the Shoutcast hosting link to get started right now. Lakewood Computer, located at 14035 Madison Avenue in Lakewood, has it all. If you're in need of computer repairs or want to cut the cost of ink cartridges and printing supplies, count on Lakewood Computer in Lakewood, Ohio to provide it all. For the past 5 years, Lakewood Computer has been providing you with a huge assortment of computer equipment and services at very competitive prices. Lakewood Computer purchases and sells pre-owned desktops, laptops, and related equipment. And they offer outstanding prices on aftermarket printing supplies, including toner cartridges and ink cartridges. With 29 years of professional experience, Lakewood Computer is highly confident in their ability to enhance your overall computing experience. Check them out online at joeslakewoodcomputer.com. That's joeslakewoodcomputer.com. Or give them a call toll-free, 855-580-0768. That's 855-580-0768. If you have a product or service, let people know about it. Get your message out there and advertise on MSC Radio Network. It's easier than you think, and the whole planet is listening. Find out how you can advertise. Email Chris at morningshowcentral.com. User-friendly and ready to serve. morningshowcentral.com. Call the show toll-free. 1-888-668-0742. You're listening to Morning Show Central Radio Network on morningshowcentral.com. P99 Technologies. Affordable and reliable web hosting done right. Jumping from one web host to another can be frustrating. Finding a good web host can be unnerving for even the most experienced of web designers. That's why Uncensored Net Noise has chosen P99 Technologies as its web hosting supplier. Established in 1999, P99 Technologies has evolved into a first-class web hosting provider. Its 99.9% uptime rivals many in the industry. That's why they offer their 30-day guarantee, no questions asked. For more information, go to P99.com. P99 Technologies will help you get started with your web presence with honest and expert customer service. P99 Technologies. Affordable and reliable web hosting done right. You're listening to Morning Show Central Radio Network. Hey, local bands and unsigned artists. What if I told you there was a place in Cleveland where you can get your merch made and have it sold in one location? What if I said you could bring your CDs and tickets to upcoming shows to this location? And what if I said you could do live acoustic sets at this location? I bet you're thinking there's no such place in Cleveland. Guess what? You'd be wrong. Contact Rick Navario at Rock City, Cleveland, and tell him you need merch made and you want to sell it in his store. Now, how cool is that? You can tell your fans to come down and get your stuff, and I think he'd ship your products to your fans. And he's local. Contact Rick Navario at Rock City, Cleveland today. 216-622-0377. That's 216-622-0377.
Oh, wow. Language.
Okay, he was PMSing.
You're listening to Morning Show Central Radio Network. With hundreds of live weather products and layers and thousands of combinations, Weather Studio provides a professional graphics and store monitoring solution without complex user knowledge and without the industry standard price tag of $1,000 plus broadcast systems. Weather Studio displays a plethora of critical atmospheric and geophysical data on an interactive GIS-enabled computer map. Get your free 14-day trial of Weather Studio at their website, weatherstudio.paulmarv.com. That's weatherstudio.paulmarv.com. If you're looking for the best in musical equipment, recording gear, sound reinforcement, and more, Guitar Center has you covered. Guitar Center, located at 26635 Brook Park Road in North Olmsted, has the tools of your trade with the largest selection of music and sound gear in the area. They cater to your musical needs and have the knowledge to help you out. Guitar Center in North Olmsted. MorningsHowCentral.com uses them. You should too. Need to know more? Go to GuitarCenter.com.
MSC Radio Network has just tweeted the following. This bowel movement won't come out.
Check us out on Twitter at twitter.com/MSC Radio Network.
Hello, and welcome back to High on Sports. I am Ralphie, and with me, as always,
Ashley.
And I am Von Eric.
You missed a lot of hazing back here.
Yeah.
Making interns earn their keep.
Yep.
Chug a beer.
They had to.
Not really.
No.
I don't know if there's legal ramifications for that. We didn't make anyone chug a bear. I don't know. Anyways.
Wait, are they 21? Are you 21?
Yeah, right?
Oh.
He's 16.
Oh, well then it's legal.
16 in college, huh?
16.
Good for you.
He's going to be even taller than.
He's Doogie Howser.
Dear God, he might hit 11 feet.
If you're 16, you're going to be like 20 feet tall. Anyways.
Holy Lord.
All right. Well, remember, as always, you can listen to the show from your smartphone. Just search for TuneIn Radio. It is free to download. Install it. Search MSC Radio Network, and you're listening to us live on the go from your phone. Remember, as always, call the show toll free, 1-888-668-0742. Email your questions or comments to shows with an S at morningshowcentral.com. Tweet at us at high_on_sports or with the hashtag high-on-sports. Facebook.com/high-on-sports is the it's the Facebook. Sorry, I don't know what I'm doing. And the website that I just mentioned is highonsports.net. It's got the archive of all our past shows, my blog, as well as Mark's weekly posts on there. It's called Ralphie's Rants right now. I think that might be a name change here. I don't know. We'll see. But for right now, it's called Ralphie's Rants, and it is available exclusively on highonsports.net. So check it out. And we've got a jam-packed second half for you. There's almost not enough time, but we're going to find a way to cram it all in there. It is round dos. Let's go. All right. I'm gonna start. Actually, this is a staple of High on Sports, as of course,
Calling an audible.
urinating us off. And I'm gonna call an audible here, Peyton Manning style. I've always been called the Peyton Manning.
Omaha.
I've always been called the Peyton Manning of this show, and often by myself.
It's usually after we watch one of his commercials.
Exactly. 6 foot. Was it 6'2" rocket arm or something? Remember that one where he had like the fake mustache? That was so stupid. And he's talking about that phone. But anyways, I'm going to go first here, and I'm going to start with baseball. And it is from Mr. Alex Rodriguez, a man whose existence urinates me off usually. Oh, wait, I should watch what I say. I don't want to get sued. But Alex Rodriguez, of course, the hearings have begun for his suspension, where he's trying to appeal, but he's not going to get to appeal. It's all confusing and stupid and awful. Well, he's made it stupider and confusinger and awfuler. He has now launched lawsuits at Bud Selig,
This is just ridiculous.
Major League Baseball, a Yankees team doctor, and even a hospital that he was at and being treated and stuff a couple years back. It's basically whatever stops moving long enough, he's going to sue.
Yeah.
So everybody run. Get out of his way.
Just keep moving, because if you pause, he's going to find something to sue you about, too. You looked at him wrong, he's going to sue you.
Exactly.
This is ridiculous.
MLB wants A-Rod's lawsuit thrown out,
It
obviously.
needs to be.
And a
This is
motion was
insane.
filed on Monday in the United States District Court for the Southern District of New York, requests the federal court to take the lawsuit. MLB believes that a federal judge would rule that Rodriguez is bound by the collective bargaining agreement to pursue his appeal through the arbitration process. So the idea of moving it to the federal level is that when it gets to the federal level, like the big boys of court, they'll basically be like, "What are you doing? Get the hell out of here." Especially it's New York too. They'll be like, "Hey, forget about it. Hey, New York, whatever we do, we say this and stuff." And I don't know. I've been there once. But I mean, yeah. The point is, this is legal red tape over what should be an open and closed case, and then they covered that red tape in more red tape, and then like a layer of like police do not cross, and then wrap the rest of that up in some more red tape. This is the worst thing about sports.
Yeah.
We've always said that. Lockouts, arbitration hearings. When the word hearing comes out, it's usually terrible when it comes to sports.
Anytime a lawyer gets involved and other people who have no business near a baseball diamond, it starts to make you worry.
This is basically just A-Rod trying to, because we said it earlier, he's just trying to prolong him being suspended, and then just draw it out as long as possible. And he's how old now? Make it draw out 2 years. Next thing you know, I'm retiring.
Next thing you know, he's just retired.
Yeah, he's just going to retire, and then he's never going to have to face a suspension because MLB just won't tell him to get the hell off the field and serve your suspension.
I mean, yeah, it's just...
Grow a pair of baseball and just don't... Just tell him to shove this lawsuit up his ass and be like, look, you got busted for taking steroids, and now you're trying to say it's everyone else's fault. It's the doctor's fault. It's the Yankees' fault. It's MLB's fault. No, A-Rod, you were popping the roids and you got busted. Deal with it.
Exactly.
Take your suspension. Stop being a little bitch.
I don't get what his problem is. He's already getting preferential treatment.
Yeah.
Because he is the one that wasn't offered that deal. That deal, what's his name, from the Brewers had? I'm already forgetting his name. Ryan Braun.
Yeah.
Thank you. His name was escaping my mind because I haven't had to talk about him in months. But, I mean, he wasn't given the Ryan Braun type deal where it's, take this suspension or we'll try to give you this suspension. You know, he wasn't given that bargain, and it's still not enough for him.
Yeah.
And yeah, you made an excellent point, and we've said that before on the show. A-Rod signed this colossal deal with New York, knowing full well, and we all know this, anybody who thinks ahead and realistically about anything knows, the final years of that deal, he won't see. He's not concerned about the money at the end of that deal.
Yeah.
He's concerned about making as much money from that deal as he can in the here and now. He's not going to play long enough to see that one at the end. No way. A-Rod will not become a free agent and then be looking for a new team. He'll be dead before that happens.
Yeah.
I think the odds are definitely more likely that he dies before the contract is up than continues playing. I mean, so he's going to fight and claw for all the money that he can right now. Like you said, hold it off as long as you can, collect as many paychecks as you can, and then eventually hang it up and call it a day. I doubt he ever serves this full suspension. I don't think he does.
Not with all this lawsuit crap that he's bringing on now.
Which is just unfortunate that somebody can just cheat and use the law and the system to totally skate around trouble. Basically,
when everyone else manned up and took their suspension, and then he's just like, "Oh no, it wasn't me. You're just trying to kick me out of baseball. Oh, it was this doctor's fault." No,
it's just stupid.
No,
it is absolutely just stupid. All right, well, thank you, me
yourself,
I guess.
Thank you, Ralphie.
Oh, you're welcome, Eric.
See, you didn't.
It's just reflex. I was like, oh.
You didn't Peyton Manning that audible very well because you forgot you threw an audible.
No,
Second and long.
I think I Tony Romo'd the end of that Peyton Manning. But anyways, we're going to go to Von Erich now. We're all just jumbled around. Von Erich has a pretty good one with a video aid to go along with it. So why don't you go ahead?
Well, we hear a lot of things throughout the season during the baseball year. Fans aren't going to the games. And a prime example is something that happened right in the same section I was sitting in. And let's cut to that video now.
Oh, a little backstory. Von Erich, of course, was our representative at the
wild card game.
I'd be there today if they won.
Exactly.
I'm sad inside still.
We got representatives.
Sad.
All right, we ready to play that, Chris? Okay, here we go.
Hey, go down there and fight. Hey, move, you fucking asshole!
Foul language, by the way.
An incident like this takes all the fans out of the game because they're always paying attention to this. And there's and people in other sections are looking over, wondering what the hell's going on over there, and it disrupts the whole game pretty much and makes it a miserable experience. And this is why people don't want to go down there.
Get security, Sam.
Her voice was so annoying.
Did Sam ever do it?
I was hoping someone bashed her in the face.
Did Sam get off his lazy ass and get security?
What? You're sitting here fighting. Oh, man. I hope someone hits this bitch in the face.
Get security,
so
Sam.
annoying.
Come on, Sam.
That was a decent fight.
It's a crisis. You got to be ready, Sam.
There was actually some punches thrown. Normally, like, fights is just people arguing.
This isn't like a football game where fights are commonplace. You'll have a few throughout the game, and that's just comes with the territory of being at a football game.
That's because you figured they were probably drinking all day long because the Indians are finally back in the playoffs, and some people just quite haven't figured out how to hold their alcohol.
That's
they
the great
like
thing about
sports.
Kids. You drink because you're sad because your team lost. But you also get stupid drunk to celebrate because your team's in the playoffs. Yeah.
Either way, it's a win-win.
Exactly.
Right?
Unless, of course, the team loses.
There's a few people who apparently drink like high school kids and they don't know how to handle their booze.
Go ahead and get drunk all you want, people, but, take it like a champ.
And, this one person is going to ruin it for a lot of people.
Don't be that...
People don't want to take their kids to a baseball game when all that language is getting screamed out, and you got that lady's shrill voice in your ear.
Get security, Sam!
Sam!
Yeah, raise your voice a few octaves, and that's exactly how she sounded.
Security!
What are you doing,
It's
Sam?
like that old lady. I ain't no fuddy-duddy.
I'm no fuddy-duddy, but this Manny Rodriguez character.
With his long hair.
There's long hair.
It's
in
gonna
there.
hit the
Dreadlocks?
players in the eye.
No, thank you.
I wish we had audio of that.
No,
I'm sure we could find it.
fuddy-duddies
Yeah, whatever
here.
happened to that?
That will go on as the greatest moment in the history of this show or any other show for that matter.
that was
We're
a good
calling back to
one.
an old clip. If you haven't heard it, we'd have to really dig it up because it's in the High On Sports vault. It's like the Disney vault, but not as magical or fun. But it was that woman who called. Where was Manny at that point?
He was playing for an
Minor
independent
leagues.
league team, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right, somewhere like that. She called the head offices to basically this elderly woman to complain about his dreadlocks and how that's a bad example. And it was very fair of her. As she said herself, she said, "I'm no fuddy-duddy."
Yeah, and that
But-
his hair it could hit that first baseman in the eye.
Oh yeah.
I know this is doubtful,
Not
but
the catcher
if,
though, because he wears a mask.
if Manny Ramirez were ever to get elected to the Hall of Fame, I want underneath his name on the plaque was called Manny Rodriguez by an old fuddy-duddy. And that's all I wanted to say.
That reminds me of Richard Dreyfuss once was at a Cubs game. Because they always have a celebrity come on to sing, take him out of the ball game or whatever. So they had Richard Dreyfuss on there, and he sat down with the broadcasters to talk, and he's like, "Oh, they don't know what they're doing today. The Alex Ramirez's and he was just mixing everyone's names up. Like the Manny Martinez doesn't know what he's doing out there in the outfield, and it's like, what do you stop talking? You should be off somewhere fighting a giant shark. If anyone else out there is not old, he was in Jaws. So that's where that comes from. Anyways, thank you, Von Erich.
You're welcome.
You're totally right. This is, people, come on. Let's class it up a little.
Let me just say, I want to apologize to anyone who goes to these games looking for a fight. Then, well, no more power to you. I got nothing to complain about that.
Yeah, I keep the fights in the parking lot.
Yeah,
keep them outside.
Where murders happen.
Yeah,
it's not safe out in the parking lot.
We don't.
There's no one to get security in the parking lot. Here you at least have Sam.
And then where the hell is security for a playoff game at a sold-out stadium?
42,000 people.
We've all been to games. You see what happens in between innings is when the security comes down to the end of the aisle and starts looking at the crowd. What's going to happen in between innings?
I got yelled at a Browns game once because I came back from the bathroom and it started again on a commercial break. I didn't want to miss the action, so I was going to wait till the next time out. I'm just standing there. The refs made a horrible call, so I said some words. Dude's yelling at me. I'm like, what am I gonna do? I'm and I'm not even around anybody. I'm by myself, just standing in the stairway, watching the game before hiking 50,000 feet back up into the stands. I'm sorry. They're all over the place at Browns games.
Me, Von Erich, and some folks took in a game a couple years ago, or not years, but a while ago, whatever, against Boston, and someone who was with us said ass or something, and the security guy was there hey, and it was okay. So it was what? But this is hey, it's one thing to punch the crap out of each other,
but you can't say ass.
You will not say ass in my section. Do I make myself clear?
Because that's just the worst word you could say.
I got that audio too, if you want it.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Let's just play at least a snippet of that.
Have that, but we a lot of people out here don't feel these people should be able to play with this long hair. It flies in the faces of first, second, third base when they're tagging them out, and it could hurt their eye. It could really hurt the people's the first, second, third baseman's eye. And of course, when they have dreadlocks, they don't wash that hair for 2 weeks. Those braids are hard to, and any long hair should be out. It shouldn't be allowed. They should have to cut it. They cut it in the service. They have to cut it in a lot of sports. I don't think they can have it in swimming. I didn't know if I was able to call back another day, so I'm calling it in. This is Tuesday night, and I think there should be rules where they have to have short hair, not longer than behind their ears, and maybe they won't get on these darn performance enhancement drugs. Long hair and drugs, we all know, goes together.
We all know that.
It's just like a cheater and a liar, Dr. Phil says, goes hand in hand. When they cheat on a spouse, they also are a liar where they are at the time. And they lie about that's a different thing. But the thing is, they should not have long hair in sports. This shouldn't. It interferes. It can hurt the eyes of the opposing players trying to tag them out. It looks horrible. It doesn't look wholesome. They should have to abide by the rules. And and then maybe they won't do these drugs either. If they have to act clean cut, maybe they will be clean cut. You really need to give this message to the executive committee, the owner, or the executive committee, and see where it needs to go. I guess to the owner of the River Cats and to the administrative, the highest office there. And I'm a lady, and I'm not a fuddy-duddy.
I'm not a
I just
fuddy-duddy.
noticed, and they're all getting in trouble on steroids and using cortisone for energy. That stuff causes cancer. That's why Lance Armstrong, the bike guy, got cancer. So a lot of people study
you didn't
this stuff.
know, sweetheart.
And I'm 69 years old, and I'm not a fuddy-duddy, but I cannot see how this unwholesomeness is crossing America with these long hair, and then they do these drugs. And
Let's
then,
go down that
then it
route.
gets into people start okaying abortion and gay marriage. It gets into a lot of stuff that is not according to the Bible or according to the American values. It's abortion and gay marriage is against the Bible.
I think she had a stroke there.
And long hair, since that has been allowed in some sports, they're doing these drugs. There's short-haired ones that do them too, but
that's just not right.
We hope that you can have a dress and hair policy, where they can't have, because it does fly into.
Cut that hair, or we're gonna have more abortions. I think that's what you need to take away from that.
Strictly causing drug use and abortions.
Hey, they go hand in hand.
They do.
Just like Dr. Phil says.
Like Dr. Phil said, they go hand in hand.
That's
I'm
the best
69.
phone call that anyone has ever made. Just ever.
Yes. Wholesome American values don't mean long hair.
By the way, with my totally photogenic memory of minor league affiliates, that is the AAA affiliate of the Oakland Athletics. By the way,
the River Cats.
The River Cats. So that's when he was. I vaguely remember him something with Oakland. Like, I don't know if he ever got there.
Very short time span.
I doubt he made it.
I don't
to
think he
the
ever
Oakland
made
club.
it there.
Yeah,
no.
he was cut before then.
But yeah. Anyways, we're nearing the end of the show, but I'm gonna real quick. I promised college football rankings, so here's your top 10 at least from 10 to 1. LSU, Texas A&M, Louisville, Georgia, Florida State, Stanford. Number 4, the Ohio State University. Keep on
They had a
winning.
big win against Northwestern
Clemson
on Saturday.
3. Quack, quack goes the Oregon Ducks at number 2 and Alabama number 1. All right, 3 up, 3 down time. I'll make this real quick. Down number 3, Matt Flynn, after losing quarterback competition to Terrell Pryor earlier this year, officially cut by the Raiders. Down number 2, Brian Hoyer, after leading the Browns to victory in each of his starts, he tore his ACL out for the year. Or is it MCL? I don't care.
ACL.
CL. Tore a CL.
Tore his ACL.
Down number 1, Alex Rodriguez's appeal process. Alex Rodriguez now suing MLB, Bud Selig, Yankees doctors, and a hospital. A hospital where kids are running around sick. Way to go,
apparently
A-Rod.
the hospital put
Blame the
roids
sick
into
kids,
A-Rod.
A-Rod. Anyways,
Who
uptime.
knows?
Number 3, Thaddeus Lewis, promoted from practice squad to Bill starter in place of injured Manuel and awful Tool. Up number 2, Josh Freeman, picked up by the Vikings and will compete for a starting job.
Who'd have thunk it?
And up number 1, questionable, Tampa Bay Rays. It's really more good first half of their week. They did win back-to-back essentially playoff games over the Rangers and Indians to advance into the postseason, where they will now be quickly shown the door. So, I give them number 1 up this week just because I just look at the first half. If you ignore the rest of the week, then it was pretty good. But anyways, that's going to wrap it up for us this week. Immediately following High on Sports is Everything in Between with your host, Von Erich. Von Erich is joined tonight by
1 day's notice.
Sounds good. All right, so for Chris, for Von Erich, for Ashley, I am Ralphie saying good night, everybody. We will see you next week, same time, same place. Thanks for listening to High on Sports on MorningShowCentral.com.